Hello, world and universe. Welcome to the Trevor Donald Experience. Manifest your truth. And I want to tell any new listeners, please hit that like and subscribe button. And to my continued followers, I want to say thank you. I appreciate you. Let's keep this channel going where I present new and interesting commentaries and things that are taking place in America and around the world, and to try to apply some kind of 5 cents semi-PhD common sense with a slightly legal analysis to things that are taking place. And we're living in a very crazy and diabolical world in today's time. And this one is straight out of St. Louis, right where I'm at. As you know, in many of our major metropolitan cities, many of these cities are all going through the same crises. And St. Louis is no different than Chicago, Atlanta, Philadelphia, New York, just a smaller urban city. And this one is all about, oh man, how does an employee deal with an attack or a robbery that's taking place at their job? Do they defend the company and the patrons that are in the store, or do they just sit there and allow the robbers to do whatever they want? Because two Starbucks employees got fired after defending themselves during a store robbery in St. Louis. And one guy in particularly fought back, and he is at the heartbeat of a lawsuit against Starbucks, the major coffee company out of Seattle, Washington, where you can go pay 5 and 10 times what the value of a cup of coffee is. They've done a wonderful job marketing coffee, and then you pay $10 for it when you can get a whole canister of coffee at the grocery store for $10 and drink coffee for 30 days. So former Starbucks employee Michael Harris is suing the company for wrongful termination. The coffee giant fired Harris and his co-worker, Devin Jones Ransom. That's interesting. His last name is Ransom, and this is all about a robbery. Earlier this month, this is in St. Louis, Missouri, just weeks after the baristas prevented the Starbucks location at 212 South Grand Boulevard from being robbed. That is actually right down the street, walking distance from St. Louis University college. So there's tons of college students there. I don't live far from there, and there's a lot of activity that goes on. People walking to and from class and to and from campus all the time. So that's the last place you want a robbery to take place, when you have kids that are coming all throughout the country, and parents are sending their children to St. Louis U or Washington University. And the last place you want to send them to is these urban cities where tons of crime, robberies, thefts, property damages are taking place when these kids are trying to go to school to learn something. But Harris and Jones Ransom fought back against the robbers. When one of the robbers struck Mr. Harris over the head with a gun, it cracked, and they realized the gun was a fake. So that's when Harris fought back against the gentleman. So the robbers came in, told everybody to lay down. The robber hit Harris in the head with the gun, and it happened to be fake and cracked. And that's when Harris realized that he could defend himself. Not only was he probably defending the store, but I think immediately when he got accosted and assaulted, that he was defending himself first and foremost. You got to remember that caveat in this legal complaint, because they fired him for defending the store, him getting in the way of the robbers robbing Starbucks. So the case was one of several legal issues taken up by St. Louis on the area's legal team. Labor and employment attorney Sarah Swatosh says she would like to say that Harris has a good case for wrongful termination, But she doesn't believe the argument works in this case. It goes against our intuition that if we are helping, if we're being a good Samaritan, we won't be punished for it. But that's not simply true. Most stores have a no chase policy, They simply won't let the employees stop thieves. And the reason being because this becomes a work compensation risk, which is too high. The injuries are too high. So basically, the Starbucks or the employer, Walgreens, Walmart, or any of these places, Target, they don't want you to stop somebody committing theft or armed robbery, because if you get hurt, let alone killed, then they have a lawsuit that will be filed against them for you getting injured. Not that they care about the safety of the store. They just don't want you to stop the robber and or thief, because if you get hurt, then that's a workers' compensation claim, or it could be even worse. And this even applies to security guards. In the state of California, they don't even want security guards stopping anybody from theft. In California, in San Francisco, Oakland, and Sacramento, you can steal up to $950 a day, and the security guards cannot detain you for the police. So what is the point of even having security? What is the point of even working for these large Fortune 500 companies like Target and Walgreens and Starbucks if there is going to be a heightened safety issue for these employees that are making $10 and $12 and $15 an hour? And this gentleman was just working there part-time to finish his schooling. In addition, Harris' lawsuit isn't formally accusing Starbucks of firing him in retaliation for apprehending a thief. Rather, the suit accuses the company of firing Harris due to unsafe conditions at the store. So as I just reiterated, he had already been making complaints, and based on the area, which I know where it's at, and they have had multiple situations of theft and potential harm to customers and employees. And Starbucks hasn't done anything about it. They have not changed their safety requirements and safety conditions for their employees. So they have a group of people, one guy in particular that comes in there, they try to rob the place. One guy hits Harris over the head with a fake gun, and he apprehends the guy. The other ones run off. Harris and the gentleman, Devin Jones Ransom, subdue the guy until the police get there. So you would think that would have been a good deed. And then 3 weeks later, they get fired. And this goes to show you that there are way, way too many libertarian and liberal laws that are castigating all across America. There's no advocacy for doing the right thing anymore. And people are just purging shoplifting and looting all throughout America. It's happening in Chicago. It's happening in New York City. It's decimating the state of California. And now you have a scenario in St. Louis where this young man is just trying to work there part-time, and then he ends up getting fired for preventing an armed robbery at the Starbucks. And remember, when they came in there, they asked everybody to lay down on their stomachs. So it would be presumed, and they had no mask on, that this was getting ready to be a murder. So it's heightened. Who knows what you would do in that particular situation? Please give me your thoughts on what you think. Should Harris have been fired? Should he have done nothing? I think Starbucks is completely wrong in many of these corporate America companies, to where their safety conditions are not being sustained. And if it was your son or daughter, would you want them working at these stores where the security guard can't do anything? You can't stop anybody from harming employees or customers. You're just right there at the gavel, at the mercy of any criminal that comes in there and decides to do whatever the hell they want to you. And there's no repercussions behind what they do, because in the state of Illinois, if you commit a minor crime, and how do you define minor? There's a cashless bail system. They don't even have to post a bond, and they get to come back to court under their own recognizance. LA County has done the same thing, and you're seeing many of these major cities that are being decimated by all kinds of crimes. And then this gentleman gets hit in the head with what he thinks is a gun, and defends himself, subdues the criminal for the police to catch him. Because had he not done that, and now with everybody trying to defund the police, St. Louis is down 500 cops, Chicago is down 1,000, New York City lost 2,500 police officers that weren't even near retirement last year, 2,500. If that gentleman or those assailants had gotten away, the police wouldn't have went after him and done anything. Absolutely nothing. There's no policing going on. Everybody wants to defund the police. Where is our public safety in today's time? As I state, would you want your son or daughter to work at any of these retail stores across America? That's the question you have to ask. Now, the one issue before I finish up that I think Harris made a mistake was when he told the police and told the corporate folks at Starbucks that he realized it was a fake gun and he decided to defend himself. I don't think he should have ever said that. I think he should have just stayed with, he got hit in the head with a gun and he was fearing for his life, and left it at that. I think he talked a little bit too much by stating that he realized it was a fake gun, and that's why he went after the guy, where I think he should have said he thought it was a real gun and did not know. It scared the hell out of him, and he was trying to fight for his life. So tell me your thoughts. I think Starbucks is liable for firing this gentleman. I think they're liable for having unsafe work environment. And I think him and Mr. Ransom have a viable lawsuit. And we've gotten to the place now in America where the people that are trying to do the right thing get the worst end of the stick, and the individuals that are doing the wrong thing can go out here and purge society at free will each and every day, destroying our public safety and our moral and ethical code in this country. We're losing our humanity, and we're gaining civil unrest each and every day. Thank you for listening. This has been a Trevor Donald Experience. Manifest your truth in a positive and God-fearing, righteous way. Please hit that like and subscribe button.